Hi, I'm eknifong, and this is my crowd. Hi, I'm eknifong, and today I'm here to persuade you that the drinking age should be lowered from 21 to 18. And I hope to get the response of an increase in support for a national law being changed regarding the legal drinking age being dropped from 21 to 18 years old. If an unnecessary law is reduced, then it will give adults their deserved rights and teach them proper responsibility at the necessary age. There is a young couple, Ashley and James, that live in their own house and drive their own cars. Ashley is 20 and James is 18. They have a little girl together and she is going on 2 years old. Ashley has done some work in pornography before she had a child, and James is signing up to join the military and risk his life for our country. They both have their own gun and ammo shop and have entered in the legal business contracts and always vote on gun-related issues. Ashley is a heavy smoker nowadays and it is hurting her health. Everything these two do is legal. The life of a young child is in their hands. James can go overseas and die for his country. And Ashley smokes and has legally been seen nude by millions. They also own and sell their own guns. They can even contribute in deciding the nation's leader. But when either one of them decide that after a long day of adulthood they want to sit back and crack open a beer, they could be thrown into jail because they aren't mature enough to make that decision. A younger drinking age would allow schools to teach responsible alcohol use and would give adults the right to make adult choices, just like every other choice that can be made at the age of 18. It would reduce the binge drinking caused by those that can only drink on rare occasions illegally behind closed doors. My mom lived in Missouri where she had to wait until she was 21 until she could drink legally. My mom drank at home with friends and just drove around for something to do, which sometimes brought trouble. I myself have drank with groups of minors and groups of people over 21. Maturity level seems the same among these groups until the drinking begins. Minors go all out because they never know when the alcohol will be available again. Those who can buy it whenever only drink enough to have fun and know their limit. Being a legal adult and being able to do everything else except drink is not a proper way to guide responsibility. Adults should have the right of what to do and how to do it when it comes to alcohol, just like everything else. Today I would like to talk to you in depth about American rights and the freedom of drinking that is being overly restricted. We will discuss a little of the history behind the laws, the problems associated with the drinking laws, and reasons why alcohol should be legal at 18, and what you can do as a supporter of changing the drinking age law. Why the laws? Adults deserve the right whether to drink or not, just like everything else at age 18. All of the decisions that can legally be made, and consuming alcohol isn't one of them. An adult should be able to make adult decisions. Everything I listed that Ashley and James could legally do just goes to show you how unresponsible this law really is. At the age of 18, every decision can be made up, all the way up to being of a child's life without supervision, but the same person isn't mature enough to have a drink on the night off. It's just an unfair law that should never have been raised to 21. It is known that minors under the age of 21 will drink anyways. I'm not saying that this is a legitimate reason to change the law, but reality is that the drink age law is only forcing the under 21 crowd to drink behind closed doors. John McCardell, former president of Middlebury College in Vermont and head of nonprofit organization Choose Responsibility, said, "The current drinking age has driven the drinking out of public view. It has meant that instead of drinking in bars or restaurants where there is supervision, it's happening in dorms and dark corners." A law like this only makes those young adults feel like they haven't reached full adulthood yet. And yet to achieve that goal, they must drink regularly, just like you would be able to do of the age of 21. This also leads to binge drinking. Minors tend to drink more because of the uncertainty of when they will have another opportunity to drink again. So they will just go all out. The more alcohol a person consumes, the more dangerous the situation becomes. The drinking age was originally left up to the states to decide. When my parents were becoming adults, they lived and my mom lived in and they lived in Missouri and wasn't able to legally consume alcohol until they reached 21. This provided a completely different lifestyle during those years for both of them and all about what there was to do. Both parents did drink occasionally. My mother drank at home with friends under no supervision, and because it was a bigger deal to get alcohol, they drank more. The National Minimum Drinking Age Act of 1984 threatened to cut highway funds for the states if they did not raise the drinking age up to 21, and eventually all 50 states fell into the trap for financial issues. The drinking age should be reduced back to 18 years old, and a poll of 700 random people, 77%, agreed the drinking age should be lowered to 18. Adults should be allowed to be adults. Reducing the drinking age to 18 would allow educators and peers to properly teach alcohol responsibility, rather than ignoring the fact that it happens. It would reduce the amount of binge drinking and would also allow it to be supervised in bars and restaurants, as well as earn the states more revenue for the additional alcohol sales. The reduced laws would teach better responsibility and maturity. Those that can drink whenever they want drink more casually rather than binge drinking. With an age limit of 18, these adults could be properly educated on drinking responsibly. I personally have drank with many groups of people. The parties I go to that I have been to that were full of minors, I have noticed everyone is trying to get super wasted and get really crazy because it's the one night that week they will even be around alcohol. When I go to parties full of people over 21, everyone is a lot more laid back, and more just want to get a good buzz and have fun with some friends. They know their limit, and it's easy to stop there because they can grab a drink anytime they want. For keeping the age at 21, uneducated minors will continue to drink irresponsibly as adults. Continue high rates of binge drinking and effects thereof. One more way for the good kid to get in trouble for feeling like an adult. Unfair laws limiting adults from making their own decisions when they can do so, many other big things. Lowering the age to 18 gives adults the rights and responsibilities they should have. Give the opportunity to properly educate those old enough to drink, and them able to do it in a more supervised area. Reduce binge drinking and bring maturity at a younger age, and states could also gain more tax money from the additional alcohol sales. If I have persuaded you so far, you can also go and support the legal drinking age and vote anytime the subject is on the ballot. This website is www.petitiononline.com/AD793/petition.hotmail and sign the petition to lower this drinking age back to 18 in the United States. Well, as I bring this to an end, I want you to take this all in and think about whether you think you have to be old to party. And if someone under 21 that drinks automatically is a severe harm to society. Bad things are going to happen no matter what, and laws like this will only put it off a couple years at best. People are considered an adult at the age of 18 in every other way, so why not the drinking age? I have talked about why the law is the way it is, and I hope you have a fresh perspective on that is fair in today's society when it comes to the drinking age. All the things we are able to do at 18, then how is that we are not old enough for those things, but not have an alcoholic beverage? We can keep young ones' lives as our responsibility. We can die for our own country. We can do everything at 18 except drink. And in reality, it makes no sense when you consider the same arguments for buying cigarettes, marriage, and even being tried in court. We live in a free country, so how about a little of that freedom? And this is a bottle of Smirnoff vodka, which I'm not of the legal age, and I could be in very much trouble for having this one bottle. And so why not have the drinking age be 18? I'm going to drink it anyway.